This is this is actually, that's Cedar House right there. And this is the engagement that happened. So they studied it.
During the night of October 18th, Early took his men on a forced march. He divided them into 3 attacking columns, and out towards back roads he put his cavalry in motion. So he's got intention of attacking early in the morning, probably like first light. So he's actually drawing up his idea is to attack. That would have been if there's Union that would be bomb gunners. Someone just acted on it, and you want a medal of honor for his activity in the battle. Anyway, John Brown Ward's column of 3 divisions made a night march across that mountain behind us. I made that march. It's a bear to do. And they went single file through the night to get on top of the Union flank. Meanwhile, Confederate General Kershaw's division moved through Strasburg, 2 miles further south, came right up Route 11, right where you're standing. He wanted to attack the Union left flank. As I mentioned, you had Rosser out in the distance bringing up. Rosser's idea is to hold the Union cavalry in place. You'll see that later in the back of the head. If you get up to Heights Chapel, you'll see that there are 2 important roads. One of them is behind the Union position in Middleton, the other swings up north. That would be a nightmare for Sheridan's troops if that Confederate cavalry can get on those roads and get behind it. And that's why you have General Custer and Merritt way out in the distance, not here right on this battlefield at the moment, although we'll make it here tomorrow for sure.
Is that what he said?
Except for those jet scouts and a few others, as I mentioned, it's going to be a complete surprise. As reported in the October 27th, 1964 edition of the New York Times, some Union pickets allege that Confederates dressed in Yankee uniforms arrived and relieved them from their picket duty. Other Union pickets were quietly captured and sent as a dense fog, as the process of the Confederates moving into position was nearly complete. So they were taking out all the guards they could, either by, pretending to be Union soldiers themselves and relieving them, or capturing those guards.
Let's shoot them.
What the Union artillery is demonstrating is when Early attacked, Union artillery started to respond very quickly and began to withdraw in good order.
All right.
So they're trying to stall what they see as the government of Early's morning surprise attack. Now, could those guns out there hit those other guns across the field, the Confederate guns, that certainly within range? Quick backstory to the DuPont family: when they came to America, they originally wanted to locate in the Carolinas, but instead they located in Wilmington, Delaware, because it was a large community of French Huguenots. And the family being from France thought it was nice to live among these communities where the language was spoken, and they felt fairly welcome. So the DuPonts built their famous factory in Wilmington, Delaware. Can you imagine? And by the way, DuPont became one of the largest suppliers of gunpowder for the Union. Could you imagine if the South had had that facility to manufacture gunpowder? Things could have went entirely differently. So we have DuPont fighting here, but there's also a background, a history to the DuPont family and their contributions to the Civil War through the manufacture of gunpowder. was only through serendipity that they located north of the Mason-Dixon line. The original plan was to locate south, so that makes it a line.
They're actually firing. Shoot it! Shoot the man! Actually, yeah. Shoot the man!
Maybe.
He's right. Hey, how about we go over here? Everybody go, we're going right here. I got shot.
Testing one, we have some special guests.
How you doing?
Here in the DuPont area, enterprises. So
That's
we
okay.
have
Well,
welcome.
no, I'm okay. I gotta be over here. I won't tell. You did. Yeah, I'm firing.
This fire,
I'm firing the gun.
cannon fire, using cannon fire. That's today about 5 in the morning. They are trying to fend off what they now understand is developing major attacks. Totally unexpected. And Sheridan is not on the field. It's not Winchester. He just visited Washington, D.C. for a conference with Lincoln. So he doesn't know anything. He does not know this is happening. He does hear some cannon fire up there, 70 miles north of here. But originally, they told him probably just this sort of practice, not to worry too much about it. He did comment that a lot of people looking out the window at him would smile and laugh. Apparently, they knew what was happening. He did not. So the word had gotten to them about what was going on.
Questions in order to.
Reload. Full fire. We need a full fire.
Yeah. No. What's happening?
No, they shot all of us. It was like they shot
Remember, right now we're shooting powder. The sound is about half of what it would have been during the Civil War, which is why a lot of the artillerists after the war would have to wear those cones, hearing cones.
FDA regulations.
Concept of earplugs wasn't necessarily popular at that point. But in any case, that sound you're hearing is multiplied by at least 2. And that's what you heard had you been on this field October 1984.
No, you said date.
I didn't realize it was there.
No,
No, this is, I've only known about it.
Look at those tents to the left, the white tents, that represents the Union camp. That camp was hid between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. The surprise and force was so thorough that there are descriptions of Union soldiers' bodies found with their coffee cups still in their hands. That's how effective this surprise was. Now, what you're seeing is the attempt, led by Pons and others, to sort of slow down that Confederate advance. And but as we'll see as the battle develops, this is a devastating surprise attack. And some hard time on the hands of the rest of the battle that we're going to show today.
Here they come.
Okay, what you're witnessing is the result of that first attack, wave of attack by the Confederates. So it's an outrunning force battle. It's about 5 a.m. The 1st Division of Union 8 Corps that you were seeing, under the command of Joseph Pilgrim, was hammered and then shattered by General Kershaw's surprise assault. By the way, Colonel
Yeah, this was an all-day fight.
killed right about now trying to rally the men.
This is an all-day fight.
In a relatively short time, the entire
But yeah, imagine having to start fighting at 5 a.m.
distributing their tanks and as a group trying to make a fighting withdrawal.
Think you could find Josh?
I'm just looking. I'm sure I could take a picture.
It's about 5:45 a.m. and Ramsey released the assault on Union 8 Corps, as I mentioned, including trenches and towns. Several morning Confederate troops take the Union left flank, that's the flank closest to the guys marching away right now. Within that group of soldiers marching away is Russell 13A, the future president of the United States, who's being driven back off the field by the Confederate assault.
Huh?
Also at this point, the 300
What?
Confederate cavalry,
He is
led
part
by
of the school.
Brigadier
No. I didn't know he was here.
Rock's division, no road, open to kidnap General Sheridan, and they find it empty all because Sheridan is 60 miles north of England. And he gave 700 troops. And that's what it looked like. It was a broke down with hand-to-hand fighting. Right now you're watching that
You'd be surprised back then what men would do for the offer of whiskey.
What you're seeing now in a few minutes is condensed from a 30-minute collision and engagement. It's a fierce fight, many of it taking place right on the property in which you're standing. What we're seeing is the fighting with dogs. The Union Army, and they're moving back here towards, they're going north towards Middleton. They would be on the valley pike right behind you and the fields right in front of you. Right about now, General William A. Kelly, commander of the 19th Corps, ordered the 2nd Brigade of his 1st Division, commanded by Colonel Peter Thomas of Vermont, to move forward and engage that oncoming line of the Confederates. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those who must be kidding by the borders, but the Vermonters took that border to heart, and funny enough, they held their ground and even charged against it. By the way, they suffered a 68% casualty rate for Vermont. Within the 20 minutes that we condensed before, they're going to lose 110 killed. That's the 8th Vermont. We have a monument to them, by the way, right on the field. They all take a look at it. It's an amazing job they're holding back early and delaying until the rest of the Union forces can regroup.
You're not supposed to shoot on the move. I was just saying. Did you see they were walking forward and shot? You're not supposed to. You're supposed to stand still, not.
The Union were able to withdraw their wagons in fairly good order to avoid capture by Early's troops. Headquarters was also moved back towards Middleton. find the Union also has a New York prisoner of war camp at Elmira and the Confederate soldier Elmira. In the course of this operation, over 2,000 Confederate soldiers died there.
Let's do the next one.
Andersonville, over 20,000 Union citizens died at the Andersonville facility in Georgia. Do not want to get infected. Let's get back to the battle.
I hope the dude fell. I hope the one dude fell not by tripping on a rock.
It's about 7 in the morning. The battle has been raging for over 2 hours. Out in front of us, there are 3 divisions of the 6th Corps, and they are able to establish a line and further stall the Confederate advance. It's great acting out there. Now it's about 7:30 a.m., which you're seeing actually happened on the ground right in front of you. This portion of the battle that we're presenting now. Right in front of you have Major General William Early, the 19th Corps, fighting for his life and the life of his troops. Fighting along with that ragged troop out in the distance, that would be Brigadier General Philip Sheridan. Remember him? He's the one who said nothing was going to happen today. And they are fighting to establish a ragged battle line, and again, by time, but they're not going to stop those, juggernaut ready to put their bodies so that behind them there could be a reorganization, and we'll see how that works tomorrow. By the way, one of those troops closest to us are the 4th Virginia. And why did I point them out? Because there's a man in there who is going to be honored later by his granddaughter, who is Mary Tyler Moore. Her grandfather
4th Virginia,
fought-
that's Phil's old unit.
The great-grandfather fought the 4th Virginia. So anyway, at this point, Confederate Major Joseph and First Division has joined together with quarters, and they are simply driving back those Union defenders. But again, those Union boys are stalling for time, and they're paying a heavy price. A very heavy price. At this point, Early was captured 18 guns. 7 from the 8th Corps, 11 from the 19th Corps. At this point, these troops you see in front of you, the Union troops, they will suffer. You'll have 3,100 men killed or captured or wounded in the engagement that you're seeing in front of you, Bartoli. Now it's 8 o'clock, good morning. Many of the Union troops are pushed westward, and a portion of the 6th Corps out in the distance established a strong line at what is the cemetery. You can still visit that cemetery, by the way. It's on the outskirts of Middleton. And that's Brigadier General Philip Sheridan's division ferociously defending that ground. They're out there in the far right of the field. Why is the Confederate advance starting to look like it might be slowing a little bit? Because of the Union soldiers in the far distance in the field. He does not want to expose his flanks to those soldiers, so it becomes a little bit of a hesitation lot of historians say that was an oversight on his part. Early thought that the ferocity of the Union resistance meant that the entire Union Army was there facing him. It was not. It was just these small groups of Union troopers who were just so determined, and there goes our charge. That looks like what the Vermonters did early in the battle, and you're seeing the price they're going to pay for it. That Union cemetery position. Early believes he's fighting a massive Union force entrenched at the cemetery. He is not. He's fighting a portion of the 6th Corps. Well, there you go. We got some music. Anyway, that's what happens is Early tries to drive those Federals off that cemetery position. But so hard, he stops and he trains all of his artillery to blow those guys off the position. He will eventually succeed, but it's going to cost him a massive amount of time and energy to do that. As I said, he does it because he doesn't want them on his flank. He also thinks he's fighting a larger portion of the Union Army than he really is because of the ferocity of their resistance. So there go the cannons aimed at the cemetery position. Some historians believe at this point Early makes a critical mistake. He spends a whole hour focusing on that cemetery position, focuses all his artillery, and meanwhile, way in the distance that we can't see right now because it's beyond Middletown, the Union Army is regrouping. The armies have been at it for 5 hours. The Union's been driven back several times in a fighting retreat. And Early is going to begin to establish a battle line. Closest to us is Wharton, and Kershaw is in the center. We're not seeing it right now, but right about this time, Custer and Merritt had broken through Confederate resistance out there at Heights Chapel, and they come to join and reinforce this Union Army on both its flanks. We're not going to see that, but that's in fact what's happening at this point.
That's what it looked like. These are my last words if I got them. Baby birds! No, hold on. Yes.
Well, it's like was the house here out there during the Civil War? You bet it is. That's the heater house. It stood in the vortex of the battle. It has survived pretty much intact. Although a couple of the barn and whatnot have dissolved over time. But that house was the vortex of fighting. I'm sure you had some Union sharpshooters in it and Confederate as the tide shifted back and forth. We're making a great effort to restore that for you and someday make it possible for you to go inside and see what that looked like.
Look at all the men. They're just laying on the ground.
That's one of the jewels of the valley that Cedar House.
They're all just laying on the
Now the line you're seeing formed by the Confederates is actually north of Middletown. They pushed their way across the property here, and now they're situated north of the town, and they formed a line,
It just got
a strong defensive line, sort of, and we'll talk about that a little more in a few minutes.
Well, normally it lasts like it lasting part of the year. It's just gonna be a year and a half. I'll tell you something.
Not-
Ours is gonna last a year.
Right about now, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. This is one of the most spectacular Confederate victories of the war. The early surprise attack has broken and driven back Union Corps. They wheeled through in a fighting retreat all the way north of Middletown. They're regrouping. Early establishes a defensive line right outside Middletown. And right about now, a lot of his soldiers, he reported, are looting the abandoned Union camps, trying to get through as far as... Remember I mentioned to you that Sheridan burned over 60 miles of the valley? These guys had just traveled over that valley, and it was awful hard to get through their provisions. So for some of them, the temptation was great. They went into Union camps, and rather than properly fall into order, pillaged as much as they could, especially food from those Union camps. So Sheridan's technique of denuding the valley of resources not only deprived we of a lot of resource, but it also handicapped Early's men who had to fight on empty stomachs and were very prone to stop and loot whatever they could from the dead Union soldiers or their camps. Right about now, John Brown Gordon, Early's subordinate, is urging him to please rush forward and destroy the Union Army. Early is being cautious. He doesn't have effective cavalry. He doesn't know what's on his left. He doesn't know what's on his right. He's won a spectacular victory. If this battle ended right here, this would go down as one of the greatest Confederate victories in the war. However, he has many more hours of light left, and Sheridan, about this time, is returning to the battlefield to take command. He's made a ride all the way down from Winchester and arrives here in time to see his troops driven north of Middletown in somewhat good order, but he takes over, and the Confederates report all of a sudden they heard cheering from the Yankee lines, and it made no sense to them. They had just thoroughly whipped the Yankees, broken and driven back three corps, and these Yankees were cheering. And the Confederates were cheering. What the heck are these guys crazy? But that's because Sheridan arrived. He's regrouping. A lot of people, from a lot of other generals would have pulled back to safety. Not Phil Sheridan. Remember I told you, he once said, when he entered a battle, he'd rather be killed than losing. He wasn't kidding. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow when Sheridan gets back in command of his troops. But for today, we've seen a massive Confederate victory for the first half of the battle. We see a line established.
That's Sheridan to a T.
One of the important things that we're
but that's Sheridan for you.
Is notice that there's not a lot of cavalry on either side of Early's line. Generally, when you establish a line like that, you want to have your flanks protected. Early does not. And this is one of the criticisms. He creates a defensive position quite vulnerable to attack with many hours of daylight left. By the way, will Kristen Moore please report to my podium? Kristen Moore of New Hampshire. I'm the guy in the fourth. A lot of historians call this the fatal pause. Why isn't Early acting more aggressively? Now, Gordon convinces him to send out some troops to attack the Union line, but as we'll see, it's not going to work out too well for them. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Again, this is called the fatal pause. It actually was a few hours long, and Early remains in position, and some of his subordinates are begging him to go forward and crush the rest of the Union army. He's hesitant. He doesn't really know what he's facing north of Middleton. I just had a great question. What happened to the Union cannon from the morning? Well, there were some captured, but through the efforts of DuPont and others, a lot of Sheridan's artillery was able to pull back intact and do a fighting retreat. So, again, a credit to those cannoneers and the rest of the Union Army, including the Vermonters, who made that suicidal charge. You rarely see that in battle. And we have a monument to them right by our flag at the edge of the battlefield. Now, Early's going to take a lot of criticism for this halt, and he deflects it onto his troops, saying that they were disorganized, tired, and were pillaging Union supplies, some of which is quite true. On the other hand, Early established an open-ended position in front of General Sheridan. He should have known better, because he had just seen what Sheridan could do at the Battle of 3rd Winchester and the Battle of Fisher's Hill.
I think they're surrendering.
You hear them playing?
Blue guys. Oh no. I thought they were They're like
I think it's over.